My name is Paul Rainbow from Sioux Seminary. Welcome to today's daily devotional. I'd like to direct our attention to the first beatitude. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. The Beatitudes stand at the head of the most famous collection of Jesus' teaching in the Bible, the Sermon on the Mount, found in Matthew's Gospel, chapters 5 to 7. Themes Jesus enlarges on in the sermon, he condenses into 8 blessings at the beginning. Jesus is answering a universal question. How can I find deep and lasting happiness? Blessed means happy. All of us want to be happy. Even wrong choices we make in the false belief that they will bring us happiness. God himself is perfectly happy, and he invites us to share his bliss. Jesus says happiness consists in gaining the kingdom of heaven. God created us to glorify and enjoy him forever. His kingdom is the final world order in which his will be done without opposition or hindrance. Those on their way into God's kingdom are the sort of people who have the qualities Jesus names in the Beatitudes. The first is poverty in spirit. As he often does, Jesus here challenges us with language that turns our values upside down. Poverty is something we dread, and rightly so. A poor person lacks the resources, material and social, that make for the good life. We associate poverty with marginalization and misery. Yet, Jesus pronounces the poor blessed. He's not saying deprivation in itself is positive, but that the first step toward happiness is recognizing our own lack. The poor aren't self-sufficient, and they don't pretend to be. They have to cast themselves on others. In the book of Psalms, the righteous poor cry to God for protection from enemies, for legal vindication, and for healing because they have no one else to turn to. In one of Jesus' parables, a religious leader could only thank God he wasn't like lesser men, while an untouchable next to him prayed, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. The latter is the one who went away justified. I know only a few people who have ever heard God speak. Aunt Brenda is now retired in England after spending her career as a medical missionary in Guinea-Bissau on the west coast of Africa. Shortly after arriving there decades ago, as a young single woman in one of the poorest countries in the world, overwhelmed by the immense distress on all sides and the absence of amenities, she sat alone one evening wondering whether she could carry on. An audible voice addressed her in 5 words. Brenda, don't you trust me? She did, and all her needs were always met. Happiness comes from having a part in the kingdom of God, and those on their way into it are people who have the spiritual quality, the absolute dependence on God of the poor. That attitude opens the door to the rest of the Beatitudes and to all the blessings of God's coming kingdom. From Sioux Falls Seminary, this is Paul Rainbow with today's daily devotional. May God grant you poverty of spirit and a good day today.